welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and I am so thrilled tonight to say that my guest is Jennifer Lim. Hey, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hello. Jennifer and I, oddly enough, came together through Points of View.
Yes.
I kept hearing about this wonderful person in Singapore who was doing some really cool stuff with a new game called Points of View, the Coaching Game. And I guess we've corresponded maybe by email a few times. I don't, back and forth. But suddenly she says, I'm coming to New York City. And I went, yes, okay. Let's talk about coaching in Singapore. So here you are, and I'm so glad you took time out of your New York City vacation to come to see us.
Oh, yes, hi. Okay, to be honest, this is my first show, and I just want to thank Laurie for having me here.
Yes, the pleasure's ours, definitely.
To answer the question about coaching in Singapore?
Sure, but tell us, because is coaching very popular in Singapore, or are you like a pioneer? By that I mean, so one of the first people to start doing it.
No.
So people have been doing it.
Yes, people have been doing coaching for a while, and I just started my coaching journey 5 years ago.
Wow.
And only recently been certified as an associate certified coach with the ICF last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what is coaching? Because the way coaching started out in America, and I always think I was the first one, but I wasn't. It was 2004. There were many people doing it before me. I just didn't know about them. Was that people would say, if a company would say, okay, your performance isn't very good, so you have to go see this life coach, and then if you don't improve, we're going to fire you. So we were like a punishment. It started out, coaching was a punishment. And then suddenly it was like, oh, wait a minute, coaches can help you reach goals much quicker. And now suddenly it's become mainstream. But in the beginning, nobody really knew what a coach was.
Yep.
What stage are you at in Singapore?
I cannot answer that question, which stage in Singapore it is now for coaching, but I can answer which stage I am right now in coaching. Right. I am a new coach on board, and I'm learning about exactly about this word coaching and being in the corporate world. I started doing a more individual on personal one-to-one basis.
Right.
So
is that what you prefer to do? Coaching
as of now, it is where I have been practiced. But my goal, I hope that eventually I will be able to do more business coaching in terms of helping startups, company, or new people that have dreams that they want to fulfill. And here I am.
Okay, yeah, because it's funny, because I got into coaching because I wanted to get out of the corporate world. And it was like, you know what, I really want to do something one-on-one, and I want to help people. So, but there are many corporate coaches out there, and corporations in America have really started to value how important coaching can be in team morale and building and development and all of that. So that's where we are right now, and I guess that's the same thing in Singapore.
Yes, definitely in terms of coaching, where America is much more advanced, and it's more commonly being known that, hey, everybody will need a coach and stuff, but not for Asian yet, and not just Singapore, but I'm just talking generally in Asia.
Right.
It's still something that is very new, something that is very fresh.
Yeah, ours used to be that way, and now it's almost like a status symbol. You have to have a coach,
If not, you are a loser.
Even though it's like you got to have a coach, it's like, of course, so that's good. How did you get involved with Points of View, the coaching game?
Oh, okay. So I knew about Points of View in 2007 when they just started their English editions, but I knew it through a workshop that was conducted. And then I say, I really love this. It's just so magical, and then
the cards. I always say the cards are magic.
Yes, it's just magical. Okay? You just need to have it.
They are, yeah. They're really magic.
But I didn't own my own sets of games. It was then I just went past the years, and then when I began my coaching certifications, I took New Field. I'm not too sure. I think it's
New field. Yes. Coaching,
and after I finished it, I say, you know what? Since I always love Points of View, why not I take their online certification course to be a Points of View certified trainer. And that's where I say, okay, let's punch in. And I remember I had a call with Yaron because we need to go through an interview to to see whether you are really up there, kind of things.
You're going to take this seriously.
You take it seriously, yes. And I remember I was in Starbucks and I was having this Skype with him, and I was like thinking, I really don't know whether I'll pass the interview. I was just so nervous about it. And then Yaron say, Yaron is the founder of this
Yaron and Efrat.
Yes.
I refer to them as two geniuses in Israel who created this whole game. Let's just tell them a little bit about points of view, and then you can tell us how you got into it.
And that's how the journey started. And I was I think I was very blessed and very fortunate. I went to Israel for their retreat in 2014.
Oh, wow.
And
you're going back.
Yes, I am going back next year for their 10-year anniversary.
Oh, how nice.
And then and then I was just in this retreat, I was just saying, this is such a wonderful tool, but it's not very widely known in Asia. And I remember we did a vision board, and I declared in my vision board that we're going to have Points of View Singapore. And that's where I started Points of View Singapore in 2015. When
Talk about a vision board working, because they do have Points of View Singapore now. Points of View is really, it's a series of 65 cards with gorgeous, gorgeous photography and captions that may or may not correspond with the cards. And it's really designed to bring the right brain and the left brain together.
Yeah.
And it has amazing results, because I'll find you're going down the regular path and it's like you're over here and it's like, oh, how did I get over here? It just broadens your perspective. It's genius. They've got all kinds of crazy things that go with it, and they improve it all the time, and it's really an amazing tool. Do you use this with your clients?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
One-on-one?
Yes. We also do a lot of groups.
Perfect.
Recently we just did one with the management for our Singapore Armed Forces, that kind of like we're going to launch it in. We are penetrating in Singapore for Points of View. That's the latest thing that we are doing.
Just kind of getting in there.
Getting in there.
Weaving your way around and getting in there. Okay, good. And so you also wrote a book. Did Points of View have anything to do with that?
The concept and the idea came from the methodology.
Let's hold it up because it's so pretty. She tells me that someone did the front, but she did the back, which is just amazing. Yeah, colorful and peaceful and all kinds. And will the book itself be half English and half
Mandarin? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
yes.
great. So tell us what brought this about. It's called Thy Dreams Matter, and it's not out yet, but very soon.
Very soon.
And
yes.
you'll see her website down at the bottom, and you can probably get it on there when it's out, right?
Yes.
So how did that come about?
So it's based on the methodology or Points of View where you pause, you take time, pause from all the topics, and then we expand through conversations. So in the book, I will write certain conversations about the topics. Example, choice is one of the topics for this book.
This is the Points of View card. Choice.
And then we will have I will write a quote about the book and for that topic. I mean, and then I will set that on into actions, which is the last stage of the methodology in terms of like giving you ideas about what this topic is about, and that there's some things that you can do, and why did the title called Thy Dreams Matter was die in the literature, in the old English word, it means yours. And I want to spread a message
so
out
you're
there.
Saying your dreams matter.
Your dreams matter.
Yeah. And I asked her, I said, do you do dream interpretation? She says, no. Not that kind of dream. You're talking about aspirations and goals and success and where you want to be in life. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be like, okay, I want to be a millionaire or I want to travel around the world. It can be very small dreams like bring your parents on a vacation together or spending more time at home with your child. Something along those small things that really
just
make life
improving a relationship.
Meaningful.
Yeah. So what are some of the topics that you write about in here?
So
choice is one.
Yeah, if we look into the book for Points of View, there is 65 different cards, and 65 different cards are actually split into 5 different series.
Yes.
And this first book is on the Journey series, so they are all the 13 topics from the Journey series.
Okay, and the journey, you know what, I'm going to cheat.
Yes, sure.
Because I don't have but the
Yes.
journey. So there are 5 series, and one is the journey, one is doing,
Yes.
one is just be, one is difficulty, and the other is opportunity.
Yes.
So the one that Jennifer's writing about in The Dreams Matter is the journey series, and the first card is journey. That makes sense. Beginning, alone, everything is possible, should be, fear, awareness, belief, intuition, choice, timing, calling, and death.
And there, yes.
That's a heck of a way to end the first series.
Yeah, in fact, on my.
But that, you know what, it makes sense because you do begin and that
Yes.
is the end or
Yes.
the beginning. We don't know what but
Yeah.
we know death is marks a phase, yeah.
I guess death is not a taboo word. It's actually
Not here it is, and
not
I love
in
that.
not in
yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
definitely it's also it could be death of a certain unhealthy relationship that you probably need to end, or unhealthy choice that you need to
Or
counter.
death of a limiting belief.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
something like that.
In fact, my first page for the book was, "What if today is your last day?" I started off with that
Oh,
questions,
wow.
and I guess coaching is a lot about questions and
definitely.
engaging the clients, engaging the people in that needs coaching, and with questions. And I am not here to give you an answer. I am here just like a mirror for you when I give you a questions, and for you to explore, for you to expand your perspective about your challenge that you're having.
I love that metaphor, I guess, a mirror. I'm your mirror. You know, I'm going to reflect what you're saying and ask you questions to get you moving along. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I'm your mirror. Okay. I kind of like that. I'm just going to do what hear what you say and reflect it back to you and see if we can define it and
Yes.
make it better and get you going. Yeah.
Maybe sometimes it's not really making life better or to you need to change something, but maybe it's just for my one of my like personal principle is with awareness come choices, and when I am aware of who I am as a person, when I'm aware of the situation, the environment, or how I behave generally towards people, then the more choice I will have. And when with more choice, there's open up to possibility of should I change or should I don't? If I don't change, then what's my options? And if I change, what are the other possibility?
Right, and I'm thinking that awareness is going to improve your life, whether it's aware that, I've been doing this incorrectly and I need to do it better, or I think awareness, that's a goal. That's a goal for me all the time. It's like sometimes I just slip through things and I'm going, how'd I get here? I want to be aware. I want to be aware of what's going on. So I like that philosophy.
Yeah, so with this awareness, I started like my own personal awareness journey actually at the age of 21. So as of now, it's been 9 years. And like I'm like, some people will call it like you are like a course freak. Like you go on to different personal development course from one to another, and like when will you ever stop? Like these are the questions that's close friends or people.
We call that an eternal student, but I think that's great. I think you should continue to learn as much as you can at all times.
We call it the mastery, the white belt. Wax on, then you wax
belt,
off.
Right. The mastery, that's your goal, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in here, you decided to take the journey. This is the beginning of your journey.
Yes.
I love what you said about the death card. I had the philosophy here is that there really are no good and bad cards.
Yes.
It's like, and I was doing a workshop, I remember, up in Connecticut, and I was introducing points of view, and everybody said, well, take out the death card, and I go, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And I always have people introduce themselves through the card, and some gentleman chose the death card. And he did the most eloquent, beautiful thing about this is the death of my life where I'm limiting myself, and it was so positive. And I said, see, that's why I'm not taking this card out, because it really, death is not necessarily the end.
Yes.
It could be the beginning of something. So, good philosophy on that. Yeah.
Yes, I think if I am living like samurai, that that every day is the last day of my life.
Is that how a samurai? I don't know that.
Yes,
Is that how a samurai lives?
that is like if
Every
I
day
remember,
could be your last day?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, or in my own belief at least, that every day is your last stay and that you live life really to the fullest. And in fact, the last few days that I arrived in New York City on Christmas Day.
I know.
And it was just amazing. It's like, you know, in Singapore, because when I took off from Singapore, it was Christmas. And then when I'm in New York, it's still Christmas. It's like I spent Christmas twice. And it was just a truly experience for me, as in like to be able to be here. And I went to Niagara Falls right after I went.
I've been following her on Facebook. She was in Niagara Falls yesterday. I'm going, I hope she makes it back.
Yeah, and it was just like, even when I was there looking at the spectacular views and stuff, it was just like, oh, you know, if I would die today, I have no regrets.
Oh my goodness, that's how life is supposed to be lived.
Yeah, because I knew that, oh, I've done it, I have seen this, I have made my life very meaningful. And And I also want to take this time to really appreciate my mom and dad, my parents, for
well, you have them. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, they have been, I mean, they have their worries, they have their concerns about, you know, why are you not getting a regular job to just, you know, just get a regular pay and then, you know, move like from level 1 to even like maybe executive levels and stuff. And I guess they have their worries and
typical
concern.
Parent stuff, yeah.
And I also just want to acknowledge them for having me and like taking in all the nonsense. I call it the nonsense. I also write in my book, like, you know, their patience and their cares, and especially when in my downtime that they couldn't understand, like, why am I not sometimes just be a regular girl. Yes. So.
I don't think you're a regular girl.
No, I don't think I am a regular girl. No.
I think you're a special girl. Yeah. and in order to do that, sometimes you have to go against what other people think you should be doing.
Yes.
It's like because you wouldn't have written the book probably in this manner if you were going to just go to corporate. Because I did that. It's like I did everything I was supposed to do and climbed up the ladder, and I got to the top and I went, oh, this is not what I thought it was. Yeah. I'm not happy here at all. And then I had to say, okay, now what I want to do. So you're doing it ahead of time. So I think that's fantastic. And you've kind of found what you want to do. So I also noticed in here that there are like exercises, kind of like talk to your fear. I saw something, write a will. What is that? How is it set up? It's set up with the concept. And then what comes after that in the book? For each section, because you have 13 sections, right?
13 topics, we call it the topics.
Yeah. Right. So, and do you have exercises for each topic?
So we bring back to the methodology. So this book was actually really inspired by the methodology or points of view, where first stage is pause, as I have mentioned.
And when we say pause,
right now we are pausing actually.
I always go, what the heck are they talking about? And really, it's just like a short meditation. It's like just stop and breathe and be aware of where you are and let all the crazies in your head be quiet for a minute. So pause, when she says pause, if you don't understand that, say meditation. That's what that means. So yes, you say pause.
Yes, I say pause. I say pause.
Oh, stop it. Yes.
And the last stage is actually doing, because in every conversations that we have, we don't take actions to the conversations that we have. It's just kind of like waste of time in terms of if there are no actions is taken. So at every topic at the end, I will have some doing ideas that for you to explore, for you to even, there is like a blank space where you can write reflections of the team.
Beautiful.
So right now, journey, right? So what is your reflection about this particular topics that has been written? What are your views? Are you taking any actions in terms of the doing ideas? For example, write a will. Yeah, like what you say, write a will. It's really write a will.
Which I think is interesting because it does kind of put it all in line. And when you do write a will, it's like you're taking concept of who's important in your life, what's important in your life, and what kind of legacy you want to leave. How do you want to be remembered, and by whom, So I think that's an important step. I love that it's a step of awareness in this book. Yeah,
I'm also going to bring in like a little bit of what I also do in Singapore. I'm also a certified Tetra Med facilitator. So
it sounds important. What is that?
Yes.
Certified tech?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, right, I take a lot of certifications, right? So I have a lot under my belt.
She has a lot of qualifications, yeah.
So Tetra Med is actually behavior preferences created in New Zealand, where they use earth, air, water, fire as a metaphor for behavior preferences, or even they can use it in corporates. For example, when we say earth is firm like a mountain.
Right.
Some of the things that you can think of is either this person is about results, and we say fire, like for myself, I am a fire. If you know DISC, which is the kind of the interpretations, I is kind of like equivalent to a fire. Fire is about bright like the sun. They are about passions. They are about ideas and everything.
Right. Very creative.
Yeah, like me, I move around and stuff. And then when we talk about water as a metaphor, is they are calm like a lake. Where
and
you just
yet
flow
steady,
and
flowing,
steady. And of course, it can be dangerous than Niagara Falls.
Absolutely. That's a lake. Niagara Falls is a big lake. Yeah.
So they are about relationships. They are about values.
And what is air? Is air very spiritual?
So air is clear.
Oh,
so they are about the systems, they are about the strategy, they are the processes people.
Air, no kidding.
So this is like the metaphor. This is what Tetra met in very short, briefly. So the doing ideas, there was 4. It has earth, air, water, fire in it, as in like, that's why the right, the will is air. It's getting it clear and putting it into like, really, if something happens to me, for example, do I have a backup taken care of, like my insurance?
Who's going to do that?
Like, who is going to take care of my family?
I mean, planning for the future.
Yes.
I like that. So you have elements of, it's Tetra
Map. TETRAMAP.
Tetra map. Got it, map. Okay. So do you have a little touch of that in there too?
A touch of that as well. Yeah. So I'm hoping to be, because right now I work very closely with the only master Tetra map facilitator in Singapore. So hopefully one day, that's the goal as well. I mean, you have a lot of goals in life, really.
But if you combine them all, it's like, oh my gosh, what an offering you're giving to your clients and your family and everybody.
To be honest, my family doesn't know what I'm doing.
I understand that. But they're trusting you. It's like, okay, she must know what she's doing. But does everybody have, is everybody clearly one characteristic?
No, we have all the 4 elements, we call it. Like nature is itself. We are in the nature. We belong to the nature, and we are oneness to the nature.
But then you said, okay, I'm a fire. So
this is just a dominant one. The dominant preference.
The predominant. Okay, so that's the one.
But we all have those elements within us and that we can always activate those elements. The difference between a DISC profiling tool, where they profile you into a different category, like D is dominant, then as mentioned, I is influential, and S is steady, and C is compliance. When you say, hey, you are a C, like, what the heck is a C? Right?
You know, that's my objection to classifications, but I like this because it's based on 4 elements that we all know. There's also color classification, which is easy to remember, but when it goes, I'm an FQ23, and it's like, what does that mean? You have to wear it on your forehead. I'm not going to remember it. I don't even remember what I was, with the Myers and all that.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what that means. Yes. So I like that. I like the 4 elements. You can certainly, and it's sort of, once you have that down, you can say, oh, it's clear that you're a fire because you're very bright,
And also beginning in terms of like, there's no right or wrong in even the cards, your conversations, and even in the metaphor, even in what we call earth, air, water, fire, there's no right or wrong. I mean, it's your own interpretations. If you think that earth is, or we say water, like which is in the graph, right? It's such a nice metaphor, right? It can be very dangerous. Yes, indeed, it can be very dangerous. It depends on your own perspective about it.
But it's also so essential. Yes. So it's like it has all the elements, as is fire, and fire can be very dangerous too. It's bright.
Don't play with fire.
Don't do that unless you have a lot of water. No.
And also because I think sometimes also people were thinking like, is this like the feng shui thing, the geometry thing that but it's actually not like feng shui is 5 elements, so there is a distinction between what Tetra map is and we call it feng shui in Singapore.
I think the paths are many, and if you can combine things, that's even better. It's like if you can do points of view with tetramap, and I sometimes throw in numerology, you know, all kinds of, whatever just a little bit more knowledge, because I feel that the journey is never over, and I think you're always, and please, your parents should understand, you're always searching, and you're always on a journey, you know, at some point you go, and I suspect you're kind of like me, you want to share the journey with people, as opposed to ending it and getting on with you. It's like, I want to bring you along too, and that's why you wrote the book, so people can realize. That's why you decided you want to be a coach, so you can help others. No?
Okay, my expressions
go. I'm wrong. I can tell that. Yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't really know that I will be a coach. Or, in fact, I don't define myself as a coach.
Okay.
I think I really want to define myself as I'm a human being to contribute.
A human being to contribute.
I guess being a Pisces is like, you know, you will say that Pisces is a dreamer, you know, this is about this, they can dream all they want and they can never make things happen. I mean, sometimes I do. I mean, I do write in my books and says that, you know, it's really having a goal in life that really matters. Why not? If I don't have a goal, does it mean that my life is purposeless? Like the purpose in life is, do I really need to always constantly answer, oh, you know, I need to find my purpose in life and I need to go for it and
Sometimes
stuff.
I think that prevents you from actually living life, you know?
Exactly.
Because it's like, oh, I'm on this path and I have to go. And is this helping? Is this hurting?
Yes.
Whereas if you can kind of just stray out and enjoy, like you said, I'm at Niagara Falls right now and I'm very happy, and maybe that's not going to help you sell a book, but who cares? It's like you know, it's going to give you an experience that you might put in a book.
Yes.
So it's the same thing. Yeah.
I have two words. I mean, just being present. Like every moment, just being present.
So difficult, and it's so funny because I asked her, you know, so you'll see at the bottom of the screen we have Jennifer's name, and I said, what would you like after your name? What do you call yourself? She goes, let me go think about it. And now I see why. It's like, which one should I she goes, that's the hardest thing. Let me think about this. I'm going to tell you that we have like 40 seconds left. I promised you it would go fast, and it did. So I'm going to take that to recommend that people try to find this somewhere. I'm sure it'll be on Amazon eventually, but also check out her website at the bottom, Thy Dreams Matter, and this is just the beginning. There's 4 more series to go through. I want to thank Jennifer for taking time to come be on the coaching game, because I know when you get to New York City, there's so much to do, but I'm so glad you decided you're going to share with us. And thank you so much for your insights, and please let us know when you're coming back and we can do Jennifer LIM Part 2. Thank you, Jennifer.